Alright, this is our presentation on the Cessna C208B Caravan. The date of the accident was the 22nd of March 2016.
Alright, here's the composition of our AIB. Our President, Krista Handley, our Investigating Officer, Cade Merrill, Pilot Representative, Aiden McAllister, and I am your Medical Representative. We also called in a Cessna C208B design expert, a physics engineer, a meteorologist, an optometrist to check the eyes, and a chemist.
Okay, so just a little background on the Cessna C208 Caravan. It had been previously flown for 2,598 hours. It was last inspected the 12th of January of 2016. It was a turbo-operated engine. The serial number was there. It was a Macaulay 3-blade constant speed composite propeller. It had its utility airworthiness certificate. Its max gross weight was 8,750 pounds, and its registered number was to Scenic Aviation.
So this is the flight path. It took off from Scottsdale, Arizona, and was planning on going to St. George, Utah.
Here's our diagram of the crash site. As you can see up there is the tail end, and as you can see from the crash angle, it didn't go down so much as a nosedive, but just so much as like a spiral type of fall. And it just hit the ground and exploded into pieces.
Okay, human injury. Timothy E. Gregsdale, who was the pilot, they all had the same cause of death, multiple blunt force injuries, but he was located in the left front seat. And then Robert A. Wilson, who was 47, he was located in the left second forward passenger seat. And he weighed 192 pounds, and the pilot weighed 184 pounds. Then Leslie A. Williams, he was located in the right second forward passenger seat. He was 6'1", and he weighed 204 pounds. And then continued, we had William D. Beardsley, he was 57 years old. He was located in the left third passenger seat, 5'8", 239 pounds. And then Jesse James, aged 23 years old, right third passenger seat, 5'11". And then Ezekiel McCoy, who was 27, located in the left fourth passenger seat. He weighed 256 pounds, and he was 6'4". Then continued, Creighton Abrams, he was 68 years old, weighed 294 pounds. Stephen Sliwa, who was 51 years old, weighed 276 pounds. And then Ephraim D. Zuthro, 78 years old, and weighed 320 pounds.
Okay, so the damage to the aircraft, it was pretty much completely destroyed. The flight equipment was unsalvageable. The fuselage was heavily warped and bent, and the crash occurred at a free fall, so instead of going like this, it spun like this.
Pilot information. The pilot was Timothy E. Gregsdale. His date of birth was 1960. He had a certificate in commercial single-engine airplane and minimum equipment list. He also had a helicopter certificate and flight instructor. His limitations were that he must wear lens prescriptions.
Okay, now our 72-hour look back of Timothy. 72 hours prior to the crash of the Cessna 208B Caravan, which the pilot Timothy E. Gregsdale was flying the day of March 22nd, 2016. The first morning, Tim had a normal day with no out of ordinary events. He got up in the morning, had his cup of coffee, then made his way to work, which he carried out the remainder of his day until about 8:30 p.m., which was the time he went back home, returning to his normal schedule of TV and bed. He followed the same order of events the next day. 24 hours prior to the crash, Tim got up in the morning, left to work the day of the crash, out of bed. At about 9:30 a.m. at work, Tim had forgotten to check his weight and balance after he had loaded 9 other passengers, causing engine failure and the crash of the aircraft.
Okay, so the weather was really nice. The temperature was 79 degrees Fahrenheit with a low of 63 degrees Fahrenheit. And the date of the accident was the highest temperature before a rapid decrease, but it's still not really a factor. The pilot experienced moderate icing from 10,000 to 15,000 feet, but overall weather was not a factor.
So findings, medical factors were not found to be a cause, weather was not found to be a cause, impacting punctures in the aircraft were not found to be a cause, unsuccessful landing was not found to be a cause, communication failure was not found to be a cause, and passenger interference was not found to be a cause.
The causes, the engine stalled at 3,000 feet. Due to improper weight and balance, the pilot was unable to gain control once it began to go out of control. The center of gravity shifted and the aircraft went into a flat spin. The pilot, this is because the pilot neglected to recheck his balances and they all died.
Alright, our recommendations. In order to prevent crashes of this nature happening in the future, the FAA should strictly enforce proper weight and balance checks every time just before the aircraft proceeds to take off.
These are just pictures of our aircraft.
Pictures of the aircraft, and as you can see, the engine's pretty much trashed and wings
I
are
think
just,
that's the cockpit.
you know,
Going back.
just warped.
And here's the tail end.
Alright, that was our presentation. Any questions?
Yes. Go back to your pilot information. Do you know what any of those certificates mean?
Yeah, we actually do. We have the abbreviations right after. So, single engine land, SEL.
So a plane with just a single engine.
Yeah, minimum equipment list, MEL.
So it's allowed to bring just the bare
And
necessities.
then I guess DOA means date of accident, and PIC means pilot in command. We have all the meanings right there.
Yes.
Yeah. Please sure you know what it means.
Wait, you or who or what?
All of
Uh,
them.
Me?
Yeah.
How did you get all their like weights and heights?
It was given to us inside of the packet.
Well, I know, but like,
Metric
how did
values.
they get all of it?
Well, when you,
Well, usually you have to like
If you
check the
want an
weight, like
aircraft,
if
you-
it's like a smaller plane, because
Yeah.
Okay.
then
So they
stuff
did
like
like
this
weight,
can happen.
they
Yeah,
did
they
weigh
get
them.
weighed, they weigh their luggage as well.
but it
So
just wasn't accurate.
who weighed them?
The pilot.
The pilot?
Yeah, you elected to.
So he had time to weigh them, but not.
Yeah, you actually just guessed.
He estimated the weights like on
Yeah, you
his chart.
estimated the weights.
So he had like 200-pound guys and then like one 300-pound, but he didn't account for.
Okay, so he didn't actually weigh them. It was just a guess.
I don't know.
He
if-
did.
Well, the thing
He
is,
did
the
weigh
weights
them,
that were
just-
given were,
Okay, no, he did weigh them. Like he weighed the patients, but then like he didn't want to redo his weight and balance, and like he just did it before he entered the aircraft. He did weight and balance with guess weights, but he actually had the actual weights, but he didn't bother to use them.
Yes, Milani.
So you mentioned that the center of gravity shifted. Does that shift during flight or before takeoff? From
It was actually during the climb of flight.
It was
Okay.
during.
So what would cause that?
Just the improper weight and balance, really.
Yeah, with all the people on.
All the people it just shifts.
Would the center of balance not have been shifted before takeoff and then?
Well, like he didn't realize it until he was already taking off, and it was already too late.
Yeah, it was way too late.
It was, I mean, if the center of gravity shifting, that's like during flight, that would be like someone getting up and moving, which would be passing.
Yeah, it was
I
during
understand.
takeoff
I
because
understand.
when
I
he
understand.
went for in flight.
Second question though, how do you plan to enforce the weight and balance checks?
Okay, let me give it to this.
something that is pretty simple is you could just have someone in the tower before takeoff say, have you double checked weight and balances?
And then they could say yes.
And then
they
It could, but it's just kind of another thing, like, okay, because sometimes maybe the pilot had forgotten because he was in a hurry,
But he
So
did
if-
do his like weight and balance check.
did
He
do
just
his
chose
weight-
not to follow
but
it.
he didn't double check, is the thing. He weighed everyone, he did the balances, and then he got on. If he had double checked to see what his estimated was and what they really were, it might have actually jogged his brain in order to retry it and make sure they.
Also, he could have another like supervisors who could come and check his weight and balance to make sure that he is doing it correctly.
Jeremy.
So you said he estimated the first time, and then he took the weights, or did he ever take the weights at all?
He took the weights. Well, no. here's that one, he took off, ran it here,
Yeah.
looked, like estimated the weight of these guys before he even took off. Checked his weight and balance, and then he had the 9 passengers load, assumed it was correct, and then lifted off.
So he did not take the weights.
He did take the weights, and that's what I just said there.
So he took the weights.
He
And
never,
then he landed.
he never added it into his actual weight and balance check.
Yeah, he never
Okay.
compared them.
So how did he have time to take the weights but not put it into his balance?
He didn't do a whole weight and balance like process. All he did was just know their weights and having their ages and everything.
Okay, so like he knew their weights and then he just kind of guessed based on their weights where the weight and balance was, but he didn't actually see the actual calculation. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, he did the actual calculation.
How close was he?
How close was
Did
he?
y'all have a
Was
picture,
about-
did y'all, I missed it, I'm sorry, did y'all have a picture of the weight and balance and see how close he was to living?
We don't have a picture on our slides, but when we calculated it out, he was about 1,000 pounds off from what the actual weight was compared to his estimate.
Any more questions?
Was he climbing at the time of engine stall?
Excuse me?
Was he climbing at the time of engine stall?
Yes.
Yeah, it was climbing. Any other questions?
All right, give him a round of applause. Why don't you open up your mishap investigation report and let us see some of the other stuff.
Wait, I have a question real quick.
We got it right here. Actually, you guys can go. I can just do this right here.
No, it's fine. You guys can move on. I know that. So why, you said you get a limitation of having to wear prescription lenses. Is that like?
Well,
is that
that's not a factor.
No, it wasn't
We
a
actually
factor,
discussed
just
it wasn't a
because-
factor. He
He didn't.
just something we had to mention.
Had he ever carried this many people in the plane before?
We don't know that for sure, but judging by the amount of hours he has, it could be a possibility.
Can you show us the finding, causes, recommendations, please?
It's way down there.
This is way down
It's
this
way, way down there.
What was the one thing that you looked, investigated stuff that was not a factor? And what was the one, how did you come up with the idea that it was overweight?
When we went over the weight and balance check that he had done, it didn't match what, like, when we added up all of the weights to what was actually on the sheet.
Okay. And it was a flat spin, you say?
Yes.
So sometimes spins are recoverable, but in this case, it was not.
He was not able to.
Do you know what the word utility aircraft means? This is kind of advanced. You had it on your slide, but I wouldn't expect you to know it. Utility aircraft means that the plane is designed not to spin. So like when you have a training aircraft, you can spin it if it's in a certain part of the weight and balance diagram is what it's called. So you can spin a utility aircraft, but you can do this a very narrow window of weight and balance. Certainly not with people in the back seat. Like in Cessnas, you can spin it in training if you only have one person, 2 people in the front. So it could have never been recovered from a spin like that. So what's that's finding the cause. What was the cause?
The initial cause of the crash is his weight and balance was off, and it stalled as he was climbing height.
Yeah.
So those are all above are the factors that were found to not be a cause, and then this is what was found to be the cause.
So was it one person that he could take off the aircraft and have flown? Or
Yes, sir.
it wasn't even close, really?
He wasn't even
No, it
close.
was
He
about
way off.
1,000 pounds off, so
Wow.
he should have checked it a lot more closely than he actually
So what's your recommendation?
is. There's nothing below it.
Oh, just go with the slideshow lens on there. There we go.
How is the FAA going to strictly enforce?
A recommendation is they could have a supervisor check to make sure that every weight and balance is accurate before they take off, just to ensure the safety of the lives on the plane.
So he did it, but he screwed up.
Yes, sir.
All right, anybody have any questions? Thank you very much.